And your career was a success because you kept Will Smith's wife's name out your mouth.
Yeah. No, I said that's the blueprint.
That's
the blueprint.
for doing it.
I was sickened. I was sickened by the standing ovation. I felt like Hollywood is just spineless, en masse.
It was just really, really hard. And they would have to. There was one time when I was supposed to be running down some steps.
Talk show hosts, people on television, people in sitcoms have been hired by the government to throw you off the track.
Both guys do weird things in their house, and young men have left their house screaming to get away from them and their mentors.
Hi, this is Mandy. Eddie Murphy, with his iconic humor and razor-sharp insight, has just dropped a bombshell about why Will Smith harbors an unexpected fear toward Jim Carrey. This revelation doesn't just dwell on Carrey's well-known antics or his slapstick charm. No. According to Murphy, there's a much deeper, more personal layer to this dynamic, and it's a reflection of Hollywood's often hidden divides and power struggles. Murphy doesn't hold back in describing a world where egos clash, power is guarded jealously, and some celebrities just seem to walk around with invisible armor that sets them apart from the rest. The core of Eddie's take on the Will Smith-Jim Carrey tension taps into an unsettling truth. Hollywood isn't a club of supportive friends, but rather, as Murphy puts it, a spineless scene where alliances are made and broken. And this spineless world became glaringly evident during the 2022 Oscars when the industry showered Will Smith with a standing ovation moments after his infamous slap. For Carrey, this moment was a turning point, a reflection of how Hollywood selectively backs its stars and often looks the other way depending on whose career they're trying to protect. This moment, murky and surreal, added a new edge to Carrey's criticism of the industry, a critique that hit home for Smith. So what exactly does Carrey represent that makes Will so uneasy? According to Murphy, it's Carrey's defiance of Hollywood's unwritten rules. Unlike many stars who play it safe to stay on good terms with powerful industry figures, Carrey has no qualms about exposing Hollywood's flaws and hypocrisy. He speaks his mind unapologetically, and this honesty makes him something of a rogue figure in a place where loyalty is often built on compliance. Smith, known for carefully curating his public persona, finds Carrey's raw approach unsettling, as it challenges the very foundation of Hollywood's image management game. A game that, ironically, Smith has played so well. It's not just the difference in personalities that has fueled the tension between Will and Jim. According to Eddie, a certain rivalry has simmered between them for decades, beginning in the 90s, when both actors were young and ambitious, vying for the same spotlight. At the time, Jim Carrey, with his rubber-faced humor and edgy persona, quickly rose to stardom, securing roles that often stood out as unexpected hits. Behind the scenes, word has it that Will, who was building his own reputation with a more controlled image, felt the sting when Carrey landed roles he had his eye on. Adding to this rivalry is the sense that Carrey has always had the luxury of doing what he pleases, in a way Will never could. Carrey's disregard for Hollywood's politics, whether publicly calling out industry hypocrisy or making scenes at awards shows, makes him unpredictable. For Will, who prioritizes his image, this is the ultimate frustration. Here's a guy who doesn't care about the Hollywood playbook, yet continues to shine, even with all the backlash he sometimes courts. According to insiders, Will sees Jim as someone who managed to skirt Hollywood's unofficial rules, maintaining his star power while openly criticizing the very system that props up actors like Will himself. Then came the breaking point, the infamous Oscars slap. After that night, Jim didn't just stay quiet or offer lukewarm condolences. He called out the industry for its spineless decision to celebrate Will with applause. Publicly denouncing both Will and the Academy, Carrey's reaction became a focal point in the public eye, casting shadows over Smith's image. Insiders say Will took Jim's critique personally. He didn't see it as just an opinion. He felt betrayed by someone he once considered an ally in the industry. And according to Murphy, this sentiment of betrayal and frustration runs deep, deeper than anyone might think. Eddie didn't just stop at pointing out the personal tensions. He turned a spotlight on a broader, more troubling issue: the toxic dynamics within Hollywood's treatment of Black actors. which has often pitted them against each other instead of encouraging unity. He pointed out how this system purposely divides rather than empowers, ensuring that even in shared success, actors like Will are sometimes set apart from their peers. Murphy suggests that this divisive atmosphere has not only shaped Will's career, but has also had lasting effects on how he interacts with others in the industry, including Jim Carrey. Eddie has implied that Will's rivalry with Carrey might be a symptom of this very division, one that's ingrained in Hollywood's fabric. For decades, Black actors have been maneuvering through a field that rarely allows them to be their authentic selves without consequences. Instead, they're placed under pressure to maintain an image that aligns with the industry's expectations. For Will, who's carefully cultivated a family-friendly and universally likable persona, Carrey's unapologetic defiance of Hollywood's image constraints can seem both shocking and unsettling. It's as if Carrey represents the kind of freedom Will feels he can never fully access, a freedom that involves speaking out against the industry without fear of consequence. This underlying tension has only been magnified over the years, creating what many see as a lasting divide. Murphy hints that this unspoken rivalry has also been fueled by Will's fear that Carrey's unpredictable nature could become a threat. What if Carrey were to expose the industry's secrets or call out the actors who've complied with its demands? That possibility alone might be enough to make Will wary of him. And in a world where image is everything, Carrey's outspoken, no-holds-barred attitude is more than just an annoyance. It's a risk. The feud took an even sharper turn when rumors began circulating that Jim Carrey once auditioned for a highly sought-after role that Will Smith had his eye on, and nailed it. This incident reportedly left a mark on Will's career ambitions. While both actors enjoyed their meteoric rise in the 90s, there was always a sense of competition between them, especially as they often found themselves up for similar roles. Carrey's unmatched comedic timing and unconventional style had him standing out, landing parts that were initially thought to be better suited for someone with Will's appeal. This rivalry, once an unspoken competition, slowly evolved into a silent grudge on Will's part. As the years passed, Jim's relentless critiques of Hollywood, especially the parts of it that keep stars under tight control, seemed to irk Will even more. Carrey's stance on Hollywood's so-called spineless nature, which he vocalized following the 2022 Oscars, was particularly cutting. After the infamous slap, Carrey publicly denounced the Academy's decision to applaud Will, arguing that Hollywood had lost its moral center by overlooking such behavior. This incident fueled Will's resentment, especially since he had always tried to play by the rules to maintain his image. The industry's refusal to chastise him, followed by Carrey's pointed commentary, likely made Will feel as if he were being called out personally. A bitter pill to swallow after decades of navigating Hollywood's high expectations. Adding further complexity to this rivalry is Carrey's fearless nature, which Murphy hints might be one of the underlying reasons Will is wary of him. Carrey has never been one to filter his thoughts or actions for Hollywood's approval. And that unpredictability can be daunting for someone like Will, who's careful about each public step. Murphy's revelation here isn't just about Carrey being brash. It's about Carrey embodying a level of freedom Will feels he may never achieve within the confines of his curated public image. Eddie Murphy's revelations don't just reflect on Will and Jim's rivalry, they peel back the layers on Will's own internal struggles with identity and public perception. According to Murphy, what truly fuels Will's unease isn't just Carrey's unpredictable attitude, it's the fear of exposure. Carrey's tendency to call out Hollywood's hidden realities is a constant reminder to Will that his own secrets, carefully managed and concealed for years, could be at risk. Murphy alludes to the possibility that Carrey's boldness could one day shake the very foundation of Hollywood, bringing untold stories to light. Stories that would pull back the curtain on more than just Will's carefully curated image. This fear isn't unfounded. Carrey has openly suggested that Hollywood is a facade, hiding skeletons that could dismantle the industry's biggest stars. Will, who has built a career on maintaining an unshakable persona, stands in contrast to Carrey's raw, unfiltered approach. According to Hollywood insiders, this fear of being unmasked is something Will takes seriously, particularly as he navigates personal and professional controversies that threaten to expose a different side of him. Carrey's outspoken critiques and his unwillingness to play by Hollywood's rules make him a wild card, a figure capable of dismantling the very myths that have propped up stars like Will for decades. In a world where image is power, Carrey's defiance acts as a looming threat, reminding Will of the precarious balance he struck between authenticity and the roles he's chosen to play. Eddie Murphy's insights make it clear that Will's rivalry with Jim is more than professional jealousy. It's rooted in the understanding that Carrey's free-spirited disregard for the industry's protective facade could pull the rug out from under Will's career. The tension between them, then, is not merely about conflicting personalities, but about a fear that, one day, Carrey's rebellious spirit might expose Hollywood's most tightly guarded secrets. As Murphy delved into the complexities of Will and Jim's relationship, he highlighted a chilling reality. Hollywood's hierarchy operates on unspoken rules, and for those at the top, any deviation can be costly. Will's career has been carefully built around a certain image, one that's universally approachable, marketable, and safe. This image has been both his strength and his limitation, as it's kept him tied to the industry's expectations and, ultimately, its control. In contrast, Jim Carrey's open defiance and willingness to disrupt norms show a type of freedom Will has never fully embraced. Murphy implies that Carrey's outspoken nature challenges the very fabric of Will's Hollywood journey, acting as a stark reminder of what he sacrificed for stability. It's this inherent tension between control and freedom that fuels Will's fear of Carrey. Murphy's revelations show that Will's carefully curated persona isn't just for his fans. It's also his safeguard against Hollywood's more ruthless undercurrents. Eddie hints that Will's adherence to these unspoken rules has created a delicate balance, but Carrey's outspoken attitude, his blunt critiques, his disregard for Hollywood's games, threatens to disrupt it all. Will, after all, knows what's at stake in Hollywood's game of influence, and he's had to make peace with the compromises required to maintain his position. In contrast, Carrey's devil-may-care approach throws those compromises into question, making Will both admire and fear his freedom. Murphy's insight has opened the door to understanding why these two stars, though different in their methods, stand as symbols of Hollywood's divided paths. The secure yet restrictive road that Will took, and the free, unfiltered approach Carrey embodies. And as Murphy leaves us with this final thought, it's clear that their rivalry is far from just a clash of personalities. It's a mirror reflecting Hollywood's deeper struggles. Eddie's revelations underscore a powerful message, one that speaks to the hidden tensions, the unbreakable facades, and the invisible power structures that keep Hollywood's stars in check.